want to walk this way because the sun is shining so wonderfully like this. It's so good. I love it when the sun is shining like this. There's not a single cloud in the sky. Blue sky. I like that kind of serene vibes. Just like bask in the sun. Really feel like the blue sky and the sun with no clouds is like a drone aesthetic. You know, synesthesia. There's some people who hear tones from the sun based on its brightness. In position in the sky. And if I had synesthesia for the sun specifically, I'd be hearing cool drone music. But I do have synesthesia, by the way. I've actually also 2020 was the year I kind of realized it. I mean, I'd had it all my life when I think about it, but it only had occurred to me that I had it because when that's the only thing you know that you have, that the synesthesia is part of your experience. You just assume that everybody else does that too, right? You wouldn't know until I kind of like really did think about it. I was like, this is not everybody does this. Like with letters, that's the common one. I forgot what it's exactly the term. Like you associate colors with letters and numbers. Like for example, A is always red, B is baby blue, C is pink, D is kind of like purple or dark, kind of blackish, E is orange, and F is yellow. Goes on and on. Same thing with numbers. But I also have another kind of synesthesia, which is a lot more interesting actually. And I think it really like informs my art a lot when I think about it, like when it comes to doing visuals for music. Is that I can like see the textures of a song like playing out before my eyes. I don't like physically see it in my vision, but I like see it, imagine it, maybe that's a better word. Like when, think about it, like you're walking, you're awake, but you can daydream and kind of imagine scenarios going out graphically. That's how it kind of is with music. I can see all the spectrum of the music, the instruments. It's almost like an audio waveform kind of thing, but there are like specific textures, and it's just mild enough where like it's not like a crazy addition to my experience of music listening, but it's definitely drives me to the point of where like if I'm doing visuals for music, I have to have it sync up with what I'm kind of envisioning. Maybe that's what makes why I kind of have been gravitated towards this art form of like visualizing music. Just like where other people would kind of let certain aspects of a song slide. It's like, I don't need to visualize this. Or maybe that wouldn't even occur to them to match a certain aesthetic to a song. I have to do that because I will absolutely hate it. It'd be like, this doesn't go together at all. That's why I love like to match things to the beat. Not just the beat, other things, elements and sounds that are happening in the song. Because those textures like literally physically stand out to me. They're happening. And that helps me like really identify key moments in a song. It's just like a backup, essentially. Like, I don't know, it's weird for me to describe non-synesthetes. Like, when they're listening to a song, do they really not kind of see it? I don't know, it must be like just you hear the music. But that seems so boring to me. Like, you just hear it. I don't know. That, for me, that seems like an experience that is lacking in something. Lacking in a visual kind of textural component. And it's like, I question if others also have synesthesia, but they just don't know it, because like a lot of people use words like, you know, this song has a certain texture to it, very fuzzy, distorted, and clean, and serene, or ambient, or something like that. And like all of those, as I was saying those words, actually, I was visualizing, seeing the textures in my head and kind of associating those with certain songs or sound palettes. Yeah, it's just like a relationship of audio visual that like is such a part of my experience. So I don't know how people who don't have synesthesia can listen to music. It's a cool thing to say, because I'm sure non-synesthetes will be listening or hearing this and being like, what the hell is he talking about? But it's like definitely a thing. I try to sometimes imagine a song, but without it playing it in my head and just seeing what it looks like. Like, for example, if there was some way to recreate what a song looked like to me, but not play it back with the sound of the song, would I be able to identify it? And I think the answer is yes. Well, it's hard for me to do that to myself, because when I do, like, it's such a connected relationship, it's hard to isolate the visual from a song, and likewise to isolate the sound from the visual. So, but I still think my mind would be able to fill in to imagine, almost hallucinate, I guess, the sound. So, yeah, I guess I could describe some of my favorite textural things. Like, that was why I like shoegaze for a while, like My Bloody Valentine, where you have the guitars that are cranked to insane levels of distortion, and then you add a bunch of reverb and things, and it's like almost like the guitars sound like vacuum cleaners, but they have tonal relationships. But it's not just that I'm attracted to. Like, I like that texture, but also like combining it with other stuff like the drums and the bass, and especially voices in that mix, like sitting in this creamy, distorted rush of texture. I don't know. That's also, yeah, I definitely have a preference when it comes to voices too in music. Like, I love these really like auto-tuned female-ish vocals that are like higher pitched and are really like incisive almost like a high-pitched drone, sort of, something like that. That's probably why I, for a time, really liked Tame Impala, just because of the way Kevin Parker sings. Like in the songs where, especially like the first two albums, there'll be moments where his voice is like very sustained on a certain note. It's like those parts I just love to hear and see. Speaking of his voice, I don't know if there's people who don't like it or do like it. I've heard it described as nasally or something like that. I don't get what that really means, because to me, I think the better word is resonant. Like you're using your skull to make your voice resonate. And I guess for some people there's this stigma of doing that, using I guess nasal passages to amplify your voice in certain ways. People use your chest voice, something like that. Don't use your head voice. But what's wrong with that? That's literally what throat singers do. I don't think they use their chest voice, whatever that is. They use their skull physically to reverberate their voice and give it all of those tones, those overtones or whatever. I don't know the acoustic science behind it, but it looks cool. That's the thing. And then I loved auto-tuned female vocals like Kim Petras. I've been listening to lately. Her voice is crazy good. Perfect pop vocals. Pop vocals are so good. Female pop vocals. I don't know. I can't really stand to listen to male vocals. Unless it's really deep, because it can look cool. But, Shawn Mendes, Justin Bieber, nah, it's not really cool looking to me. Nothing, super fascinating about their voices, how they look, because I'm talking about my synesthesia. I love Shy Girl. Her voice, but I think that her voice is objectively cool. Her British monotone accent, so good. Literally makes her music. And then the production on the first song on her EP. I think the song's called 12. So good, because it's got her chopped, the beat has got her chopped vocals, and then the first part where her voice is processed in such a weird, interesting way. She says, I guess, I know. It's that's literal addicting vocals right there. Looks so good. Looks and sounds so good. What else? I really textured, layered music, so I guess that's why I can experimental music. Where there's just so much going on, it's a kind of a trip visually of what's going on. That's why I liked Nothing's music, his album Sacrifice. So fascinating to listen to. Not just because it's technically cool. There's so much emotion baked into that that I resonate with. But I love that stuff. I can't listen to music that's folky, because like with acoustic instrument stuff, like that are really centered around the lyrics, mostly, and storytelling. For me, that's not like my favorite way of expressing emotion or expressing thoughts. I like better to hear it through or see it through the production of it. So like that to me is way more fascinating, like taking music to levels of production that like kind of alter your state of mind or like literally convey emotion through sounds and textures rather than like literally explicitly saying it through lyrics. That's why the content of lyrics is not that important anymore. Just the way it looks and how it's sung, how it sounds. That's what's more important. I don't care about what's being said. I mean, I do, because like if the lyrics are good and it matches with how it's sung, so like, perfect, makes the experience. But like folkier music that's popular here where I live in central Kentucky, and I worked at a music venue. Pretty much Americana was all that was played there, the bands that played there. Like, it's good. I can see why people vibe with it, come out and get drunk to it. And but like, it gets old fast because there's just nothing like, I don't know, maybe that's kind of elitist or whatever. Anything can get old, but if you abuse it too much. But yeah, I like fascinating sounds. Next level of production, next level of aesthetics, something fresh. That's totally where I gravitate towards now. Let's see. Whew, it's been a good walk. I have lost complete track of time, where I'm at. What was I gonna say? Yeah, tomorrow I'm going back into a dorm. Literally in the same town. I've been with my parents for this winter break. But it's just like across town, literally. And yeah, it's been a super productive couple months. Did a lot of good stuff for my art. Learned the importance of community in art, making art. You really can't get anywhere if you don't have a community built around what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, the art you make is about your personality and what you're expressing. At least for me, that's how I see it. And it's literally just like building friendships and being connected with people, because we love experiencing others' personalities. And so yeah, you gotta be expressing something. That's why I've been writing more about my art. And putting just more emotion into my work. Putting some, maybe not tangible meaning, but like something you feel rather than just understand. That's something that I've been thinking about too. It's like feel. To be felt. Not necessarily to be understood. Like when you don't understand something but you feel it. That's what I want my art to be. That's what I want. Because I just think that speaks way more volumes if you can feel it rather than like logically understand something, because that's what will leave an impact. You never remember things because of their I don't know what the best way to describe it is. You never remember things because of what happened. You remember because of how it made you feel. Yeah. That's how you get people to care about your art, I think. You have to have it make them feel something, make them feel a certain way. It doesn't matter if it's like technically good, right? Or perfect. If it makes you feel something, if it conveys an emotion, that's how you get people to care and resonate with it. So yeah, I don't like that kind of elitist kind of like, it has to be technically perfect. You know? It's not about that. I feel like that kind of school of thought is just going completely out of fashion anyways. Like everyone knows that authenticity of emotion and expression is where it's at. That's what's on trend. That's what people want. Because everybody's kind of a little bit fucked up right now, emotionally. And we want something real, no bullshit. Yeah. I think that applies to a lot of things, not just art, of course. Probably definitely politics, as we've seen. But, yeah. That's all I've been wanting to say, I think. Are we gonna go back home now and yeah. Thanks for watching this. Been recording for an hour, damn. I don't know if you're gonna see that whole hour. But peace. Love you. Thanks, whoever you are, for watching. Hope we can maintain this connection. Peace.